Welcome. I have a great sequence for you guys thanks to a recommendation from my sister. So for this yoga class, I recommend a block and a wall, something that you can put your feet up on. So we'll start right away here, lying on your back with the soles of your feet planted onto the ground further than hips width distance, and your knees knocking in together, resting, supporting one another, so that this supports your lower back on the ground. And you can have your arms palms face up or palms face down, either way, but make sure that your shoulder blades are rolled underneath of you so that your chest is broad and you're creating a lot of space in your torso and your trunk here. So part of the practice today is going to be lower back relief and trunk stabilization, because trunk stabilization is key to supporting your lower back. So start to connect to your breath here, inhaling the lengths, increasing the lengths of your inhales and exhales. You can incorporate a little bit of ujjayi breath to help your concentration and focus through this yoga practice by getting a small whisper in the back of your throat like you're fogging up a mirror. Let's work on it together. Take a deep breath in and exhale through the nose, but with the fogging in the back of your throat sound. You can start practicing with the mouth open and actually making that fogging motion. And then gradually close your mouth so that you still have that whisper in the back of your throat, but your mouth is closed. Take a few rounds on your own, setting the pace for your yoga class. As always, do what is right for your body. If it hurts, stop. I will try to give as many modifications as I can throughout this practice, and I am doing it to my breath. So if you need to slow it down or speed it up, it's up to you. Tune in to your breath and let it guide you. If you ever need to take rest, take rest. If you need to take water, take water. Whatever you need, make this practice your own, allowing the space that you're practicing in to be yours, and your body, the space you're practicing within your body, to be yours as well. So take another round of your breath here. On your next exhale, bring your knees to your chest. You can give yourself a little rock, but really squeeze in and also press your low back into the mat. On your next exhale, allow your knees to fall over to the right, reaching your left arm over to the left, trying to keep your left shoulder onto the ground for a nice supine spinal twist. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, use your hands to guide your knees back up to center, hugging them in for a brief moment before allowing them to fall over to the left, reaching your right arm over to the right and trying to plant both shoulders into the ground, allowing your shoulders to fall away from your ears. Here, inhale to elongate your spine, creating space in your torso, and exhale, allow gravity to take over in your twist here. Resist any muscular energy, allow gravity to do the work for you here. Taking a few rounds of your own breath, checking into how your body feels. On your next inhale, Use your arms to bring your knees to your chest. And you can grab the soles of your feet, grabbing from the outer edges of your feet for a happy baby. Trying to keep your sacrum and lower back onto the ground. You can rock side to side, press your feet into your hands, whatever feels good here, allowing the hips to open up and finding some joy by creating space in your body. Take a few breaths here, and then release your feet and bring your right leg straight up from your hip. Allow your left leg to be on the ground out in front of you. And hold your right leg here around the thigh at first. First, waking up your hamstrings for the day. Give yourselves a little flexing and pointing of both toes, seeing how both legs are feeling. You can start to walk your hands up to your calf if you want to increase the stretch in your hamstrings, but avoid holding the knee. Exhale, bend your knee, bring both knees into your chest, and then release your right leg straight out in front of you on the mat and your left leg up to the sky. Grabbing hold of the back of the thigh here and breathing into the hamstring stretch. Pointing and flexing your foot to see where the stretch changes in your leg. Maybe walking your hands up to your calf for a little bit more depth. Keeping a steady pace of your own breath. Trying to keep both hips level with one another here. And then go ahead and bend your left knee, bend your right knee, bring them both into your chest, and straighten them both up to the sky briefly. And then release your hands. They can be under your hips, beside your hips, or behind your head. And exhale to lower both legs. Inhale to bring them back up for a few rounds of leg lifts. Exhale to lower, inhale to bring them back up. Exhale to lower, inhale to bring them back up. Exhale to lower, suck in your stomach. Inhale to bring them back up, keeping your lower back close to the ground. Exhale, lower, inhale, bring them back up. And then exhale, bring both knees into your chest, rocking side to side and up and back to come to a seated position, a sukhasana or easy seated pose. Legs crossed either at the ankles or at the shins, whatever's right for your body. Inhale, both arms up overhead, keeping your low ribs tucked. Release your right arm to the ground beside you on the right, reaching your left arm up and over for a lateral stretch in your body here. Taking a moment to feel. Keeping a long spine, your abs engaged slightly. Inhale to bring both arms up to center, and exhale, release over to the left side. Left hand on the ground to your left side. Bringing those low ribs to your hip bones and releasing the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale to elongate your spine, and exhale to let gravity pull you into the stretch. On your next inhale, come up to seated and roll over your knees to a tabletop or all fours position on your hands and knees. With your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. You want to have a long spine here, reaching your tailbone and your head away from each other. A few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to reach your chest through your arms, and exhale to dome your back to the sky. Doing this a few times with your breath, inhaling for cow and exhaling for cat. But don't let your belly drop too far on your inhale. You want to keep a little bit of that trunk stabilization. That's what we're all about today. So don't let your entire back and abs relax in that position. Bring your knees together and sit back briefly into a child's pose. You can release your hands to your sides with your knees touching one another. This child's pose is more release in the low back than if you were to have your knees further apart. Bring your hands back in front of you and come back up to your tabletop position. You're going to stretch your right leg back behind you for a little calf stretch, and then reaching it up from the inner thigh, bring it level with your hip, reaching your left arm in line with your ear out in front of you. A few rounds of bird dog crunches. So as you exhale, bring your elbow and knee together underneath of your torso, and inhale, reach long away from each other. Exhale to crunch, and inhale to reach, moving with your breath. Exhale to crunch, inhale to reach, keeping your trunk, your torso engaged the entire time. Exhale to crunch under, inhale to elongate, exhale to crunch, and inhale to elongate. Here, abs tight the whole time. And then exhale, release your hand and knee onto the ground, and we'll move to the other side. Left leg out behind you, engage from the inner thigh to bring it level with your hip. Reach your right arm out in front of you. And on your next exhale, you're going to crunch your knee and your elbow together. Inhale to elongate, and exhale to crunch. Inhale to elongate, and exhale to crunch. Make sure your toes, when you're elongating on your inhales, are pointing directly to the ground. Inhale to elongate, and exhale to crunch. Inhale to elongate, and exhale to release your hand and your knee. Bring your knees together again for another child's pose. This time we will keep it as an extended child's pose, your arms reaching out in front of you for Utthita Balasana, or extended child's pose here. Allowing your tailbone to release down to the soles of your feet, stretching through the entire spine. You can come roll up to your knees, tuck your toes under, and press down back to your first downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet a little bit here, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, externally rotating the arms so that your outer upper arms are spinning down to the ground, your triceps are spinning down to the ground. You're going to make sure your legs are strong and engaged here. Your belly is pulled in, your abs are engaged. You release your head. On your next exhale, walk your hands back to your feet for a nice ragdoll forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, and you can sway slightly side to side, keeping your knees bent for this forward fold. And as in all forward folds we're going to do, keep your knees bent if needed to support your lower back and to protect your hamstrings. Breathing here, reconnecting to your breath as you let gravity do the work for you. On your next exhale, release your hands to the ground and inhale for a long spine, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up to standing, your arms up overhead, and exhale, your hands by your side. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a half lift, long spine, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, reach your arms up overhead, and exhale, your hands down by your side. Engaging those abs here, releasing the butt muscles, and give yourself a little walk up to the front of your mat for a Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins or mat. And exhale, step back to a plank. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, come all the way to your belly. We're going to add in a few poses here. Inhale, peel your chest off the ground for your low cobra, and then bring your hands off the mat. Exhale, release your hands, release your head, bring your arms down by your side. You're going to inhale, peel your chest up off the ground, peel your legs up off the ground. Keep your hands on the ground here. And release your chest, but keep your legs up off the ground. See how that feels. And exhale, release your legs. Inhale, everything up, arms up, chest up, legs up. Reach your arms back to your feet. Engage your stomach so you're not pressing your stomach into the ground. And on your next inhale, bring your arms in line with your ears here for Superman. And exhale, release it down to the mat. Now, only your left leg and your right arm up and release it down. Now, the other side. Right leg and left arm, reaching up, hold it here. Reaching, creating space, but not crunching into it. And exhale, release. Down to your belly. Bring your hands in line with your nipples here and press through all fours and child's pose, pressing back to downward facing dog. Your Adha Mukha Svanasana here. Releasing the shoulders, pressing into the entire circumference of both hands, engaging the quads here to have strong legs. Few rounds of your own breath. Look forward and take a nice walk your feet to your hands. Inhale for a half lift, long spine, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, stand up tall, and exhale, release your hands to Tadasana. Here in Tadasana, you want to have engaged abs. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale, you can step, or if you're ready, jump directly into Chaturanga push-up. Inhale for low cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Hold your downward facing dog for a few breaths. As we flow through these Surya Namaskars or sun salutations as part of our warm-up, do what's right for your body, tuning in and not judging what you need. The whole idea is about creating space in your body, especially your back. So look forward, exhale your feet to your hands, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold forward, inhale, stand up tall, long spine, abs engaged, exhale, arms down by your side. And again, inhale, arms up, exhale, fold forward, inhale for a half lift, exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back directly to Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And press back on your exhale to a downward facing dog. So if you're jumping, you have to jump back to Chaturanga with bent elbows. And if you're pressing up into upward facing dog, only your hands and the tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. Being safe in your body. If it doesn't feel right, modify. Knees on the ground in Chaturanga like we did earlier. Exhale, look forward, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand all the way up, arms up overhead. And exhale, release your arms by your side. Setting up. Knees together, feet together. Sit your butt down, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for half lift, and exhale, step or float back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your right foot in between your hands. Plant your left foot so that your right heel is intersecting your left arch, and that your toes are turned in slightly. You can cartwheel your hands up to Warrior Two. Torso upright, stacked directly over your hips. You can bring your hands to your hips and make sure they're level with one another. And then bring your arms to a T. Your hands in line with your shoulders here, palms face down to start. Make sure your right knee is bending deep over your right ankle. It's stacked and pressing towards your middle toe. On your next inhale, reach your right arm up overhead. You can release your left hand to your leg or wrap it around behind your back for a reverse warrior pose here. You want to have space in both sides of the torso, so you don't have to go deep. Just see if you can stretch your body, keep your knee bent. Come back on your inhale to warrior two and straighten both legs. Inhale, reach forward with your right arm, and exhale, release your right hand to your right shin, reaching your left arm up overhead in line with your right arm for a triangle pose here. Both legs are straight and strong, trying to flatten your body in between two panes. Take another breath here in your triangle pose. And inhale, back upright. Exhale to warrior two. Plant your hands by your foot. Step back to chaturanga. You can keep that right leg up if you'd like in chaturanga. Inhale for upward dog and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Bring your left foot in between your hands, ready for the other side. Plant your right foot to the ground, heel intersecting arch. Right toes slightly in. Come upright, cartwheel the arms up. Bring your torso upright over your hips. Arms in line with your shoulder, making a strong T, bending deeply into that left leg. Holding and breathing into your warrior two. Strong here. Try to have both arms parallel with the ground. You can reach your right arm down and reach your left arm up. Keep that deep bend in your left knee here for your reverse warrior pose. Your arm can be on your leg or wrapped around your back, whatever feels right for you. Reaching up and over, but finding space in both sides of the torso. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the leg. And inhale, reaching forward over your left leg. And exhale, bringing your left hand to your left shin. Reaching your right arm up in line with your left for your triangle pose, or trikonasana. Here, both legs are straight and strong. Your arms are in line with each other, like your shoulders are stacked on top of one another. Have less weight in your left hand. So inhaling up is easy. And exhale, bend deeply into your left leg, plant your hands to the ground, step back, flow through your version of chaturanga, up dog and downward facing dog. Take a breath in down dog, absorbing the work that you just did. Pressing the entire circumference of your palms into the ground, engaging both legs. Resting here, but not being lazy. Look forward, exhale your feet to your hands. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, feet together, knees together, sit into your chair pose, arms in line with your ear. And exhale, Tadasana, hands by your side. Inhale for your chair pose, sit back, make sure you can see your toes. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale, step or flow to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your right foot in between your hands. Put your left knee onto the ground for a low lunge. Come to your fingertips here with a long spine. Play around, swaying side to side, trying to keep both hips in line with each other, creating stability in your low lunge here with a long spine on your fingertips. Now, press your hips back and straighten your right leg out in front of you for half monkey, half Hanumanasana splits. This is a really nice pose for lengthening the hamstrings. Keep your knee bent any amount so as to support your body. And breathe into it. Try to have a long spine on your inhale and exhale, fold deeper. And then walk your hands back forward, bend your right knee, tuck those toes under in the back, staying up on the toes into a high lunge this time. Bring your torso upright, arms up overhead in line with your ears. Holding your lunge for a moment, bending the back legs slightly to support your low back. Engage the abdominal muscles here in your lunge and breathe, bending into both knees. Holding your torso upright and twisting open towards your right leg, your left arm in front, your right arm behind you. Reaching them out, away from one another, finding that twist from your torso before you put your left elbow on the outside of your right knee, and bringing your hands to your heart. And you can now press your elbow into your thigh to give yourself a little extra leverage stretch here. Inhale to elongate your spine, and exhale to twist deeper into your twisting lunge. Take another breath here. And inhale, come up the way you came out. Come back to your lunge. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, flow through chaturanga. Upward facing dog on your inhale, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Get ready for the other side. Left foot in between your hands, right knee onto the ground for your low lunge first. Come to your fingertips and elongate the spine here. Sway a little bit side to side, trying to find both hips in line with one another. Breathing in to elongate your spine and creating space in your body here. And exhale, walk your hands back, straighten out that left leg, any amount, toes pointing up and back towards you. Inhale to elongate the spine here, and exhale to fold any amount, keeping the knee bent to support your body if it's right for you. Tuning in, this can be a very intense stretch. Inhaling to finding that space, dedicate your breath to creating space in your body, and exhaling deeper. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward, bend your knee, tuck your right toes under, and come to your high lunge. Bring your torso upright, arms in line with your ears. Bend your back legs slightly so that your torso can be upright. Your abdominals are strong. Your left leg is bent so your knee is stacked over your ankle here in your high lunge. Don't forget to connect to your breath here. And exhale, twist towards that left leg, right arm in front of you, left arm behind you, reaching and twisting your body from the inside out. And exhale, your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, bringing your other palm to meet, pressing your elbow and your hands together to find a deeper twist here. You can always put your back knee down if you'd like, but you can find, I feel, more space in the pose if you keep it lifted. Inhaling and exhale, come back upright, come out the way you went in. And exhale, plant your palms, step back, flow through chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. And exhale, press back to your downward facing dog here for a few breaths. Reconnect to your breath, pressing each finger into the mat. Look forward on your exhale. Bring your feet to your hands. Inhale for a half lift. and exhale, fold forward. Bring your knees together, feet together. Inhale, chair pose, and exhale, stand Tadasana. Bring your feet a little bit further than hips width distance. We're going to come down to a squat, Malasana. Try to keep your heels and your toes on the ground. You can bring your hands to heart center and press your elbows into your legs into your elbow, finding some space in your torso, reaching your chest up, but engaging your abdominals so as not to arch your back. Holding this squat here for a few deep breaths. You're going to plant your right hand inside your right leg and reach your left arm up to the sky for a nice twist in our squat. Inhale to elongate the spine and reach, and exhale, allow your hips to sink. Bring your hands back to center. Now the other side, left arm to the ground, right arm to the sky. Inhale to elongate and reach, and exhale, let your hips sink deeper. Bring your hands back to center in your squat. Plant your hands, reach your hips to the sky for a nice forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms overhead, and exhale, your arms by your side. We're setting up for tree pose here, starting with the left leg as the standing leg. You can bring your right foot to your ankle, calf, or thigh, avoid the knee. Bring your hands to your hips and make them level with one another. You can bring your hands to your heart or up overhead. Play with your balance here. Allow your right knee to come slightly in front of your hips, reaching up, but not arching in the back. So you want to engage the abdominals so that your low ribs are reaching towards your hip bones and releasing your tailbone to the backs of your legs. Reaching up here, finding stability and balance from the trunk. And exhale, your arms down, your foot down, shake it out for a minute, setting up for the other side, standing on your right leg. Bring your left foot to your ankle, calf, or thigh, avoiding the knee. Bring your hands to your hips, level them out. Bring your hands to heart center or reach them overhead, whatever is right for your balance. Finding balance through this trunk stabilization. Your trunk is the entire torso body. It's not just your abs or your back. You want that entire torso to be strong here. Finding the balance not from the foot, but from the trunk. And exhale, release your hands, release your foot, shake it out, and we're gonna step your feet a little bit further than hips width again and sit back down into your squat. See what this second squat feels like. Bring your hands to heart center and then sit down gracefully onto your butt. Bring your knees into your chest. We're setting up for boat pose here. So bring your hands behind your thighs and see if you can bring your shins parallel to the ground or straighten both legs. We're going to go through a couple rounds of low boat to high boat. So get ready. On your exhale, hover your body an inch off the ground. And on your inhale, bring your arms and legs back up to your boat pose. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Keeping your chest reaching to the sky the whole time. Exhale, low boat. Hold here. Inhale, high boat. Holding your boat position. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat, and release. Let the palms of you release back onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Bring the sole of your left foot onto the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. flex your right foot and then grab your left thigh and bring it into your chest for a figure 4 stretch on your back. Keeping your tailbone and sacrum on the ground. Trying to let your spine keep its natural curvature. Breathe into the stretch. Plant your left foot back onto the ground and allow your legs to fall over to the left so the sole of your right foot is planted on the ground. Your knee is straight up to the sky for a figure 4 supine twist. Bring both shoulders and arms to the ground. Inhale to elongate your spine and exhale to release into this twist. Continually reaching your right knee towards the sky. Don't let it fall into you. Allowing gravity to do the work for you. Inhale your knees back up to center, supporting with your hands. And exhale to the other side. Left foot onto the ground, left foot ankle over your right knee. Figure 4 stretch. Grab that right thigh, bring it into your chest. Keeping your sacrum on the ground here. Shoulders broad, head relaxed. Keeping that left knee away from you if you can, actively pressing it away. Keeping that left foot flexed to protect the knee. Plant that right foot and allow your feet and legs to fall over to the right. Left foot plants onto the ground. Bring your shoulders to the ground, arms to the ground. Allow for the spinal twist while shoulders are glued to your mat. Inhaling, elongating the spine and reaching your left knee up to the sky. And exhaling, letting gravity assist your twist here. Bringing your feet to center, give your knees a little squeeze into your chest and rock and roll through seated to all fours, pressing back to downward facing dog. Reach your right leg out and then in, your right knee to your right hand and foot flexed. Plant onto the ground for your half pigeon pose here. Making sure your left leg is long behind you. Inhale, reaching your chest forward. And exhale, start to fold over that right shin. Keeping your right foot flexed to protect your knee. You can reach your foot up away from you, trying to get that shin parallel to the front edge of your mat if you want more intensity, or allowing that right foot to come more in towards your hips for a less intense stretch. We're going to breathe here for a few rounds, trying to release any tension in your body, releasing the muscles of your face, releasing the muscles of your hips, allowing gravity to do the work for you here. Finding your breath. Inhale, walk your hands back in, come upright, tucking your left toes under, pressing back to a 3-legged dog, right leg up, and you can flip your dog if you want to come into Wild Thing. Plant your right foot behind you, reach that right arm up overhead, and exhale back through 3-legged dog to downward facing dog, and get ready for the other side. This time bring your left leg up and in, left knee to left hand, flexing that left foot, making sure your right leg is straight behind you. Inhale, reaching your chest up, and exhale, folding forward over that left leg, any amount. Releasing here. Allow any thoughts that come up that don't serve you to just release away. Acknowledge them and let them go. This can be a confrontational pose for your body. So allowing that non-judgment observation on your body and mind, knowing that wherever you are is good because you're doing yoga. Reconnecting to your breath here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back in, coming up, tucking those left toes under, reaching the right leg up for three-legged dog, opening that dog, planting your left foot. If you want to come into wild thing, left arm reaches up overhead, and exhaling back through three-legged dog to downward facing dog. Come to your knees, and we're going to go through a toe stretch. So tuck your toes under and sit back on your heels for just a few rounds of breath. Sit upright, shoulders stacked over hips, abs engaged, feeling that toe stretch. It's great for your feet, but it sucks while you're doing it. I know. And exhale. Untuck your toes, come up, standing up on your knees. Bring your hands to your lower back. We're going into camel pose, Ustrasana. Reaching your chest up towards the sky. You can start to lean back if it's right for you. You can grab your heels, reaching your chest up to the sky, but your thighs forward as well. You can release your head if that's all right with your neck, reaching your thighs forward, abs engaged here. Inhale, back upright, and exhale, sit back onto your heels. I'm just fixing my mat, don't mind me. And then come, bring your feet in front of you. Bring your right knee into your chest, plant your foot onto the ground, and reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, your right arm on the inside of your right knee, your left arm behind you. This is an open twist. This is a okay twist to do if you're pregnant. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, wrap your left arm around your right knee, right arm behind you here. This is a closed twist. This is not okay if you're pregnant, but it feels really good if you're not. Keeping that left leg active and engaged out in front of you. Exhale, both feet out in front of you, give them a little shake. Bring your left knee into your chest, palm, sole of your foot pressed into the ground. Inhale, your arms up overhead, and exhale, your left arm to your inner left knee, right arm behind you for your open twist. Inhale, your arms up overhead, and exhale, twisting over that knee, wrapping that right arm around your left knee, left arm behind you for your closed twist. Keep that right leg engaged out in front of you. Inhaling to elongate the spine, and exhaling to twist. Inhale your arms up overhead, release both legs out in front of you. If you have your block, grab your block. If you don't, try to find some textbooks or some big heavy book, because we're going to come into a supported bridge. So bring your feet planted about hips width distance on the ground, lying on your back. Inhale your hips to the sky, keeping your knees and legs parallel to one another, and then wedging a book underneath of your sacrum to support your body here. Breathing for a while here. I'm on the medium height first of my block. Allowing your back to release here as it's supported by the block or books or whatever you have. Reconnecting to your breath. Keeping your legs and knees in line with one another, not letting them splay out. And release your block to the lowest setting, or if you have 2 books, take one away. Come down slightly lower. Breathing here again, starting to release that back bend. Reconnecting to your breath here, keeping your thighs in line with one another. And then release the block away, bring your sacrum to the ground, and windshield wiper your knees falling over to one side and then the other. And then bring your knees into your chest, rock and roll up to a seat. We're going to come to legs up the wall. So the way I like to get into this is I sit with my right side flushed against the wall, and then as I sort of lie back, I swing my legs up the wall. You can do sort of a crab walk to the wall and scoot yourself in. It's not a very graceful pose to get into. You can put the block underneath your butt. I did that here just because the ground was not very stable, so I created a little bit of stability with my low block. But if you are on a level ground, you don't need a block under your hip unless it feels right for you. Reaching your legs to the sky, releasing your torso into the ground, allowing your head and your organs to be heavy here, taking long rounds of breath, inhaling the lengths, increasing the lengths of your inhales and exhales here. Relaxing the muscles of your face, releasing your shoulders away from your ears, allowing your belly to expand on your inhales and fall on your exhales. Start to bring your feet down the wall, bending your knees and rocking over to the side. Back up through seated, to crawl back over to your mat and lying down on your back for a well-deserved Shavasana. You can keep your knees bent and your feet on the ground with your knees together if that how we started, if that felt right for your body. But see how your back feels now after doing all that work in a completely supine Shavasana. Legs straight out in front of you, relaxed and rolling away from each other. Arms stretched out and down to your side, away from you. Head fully relaxed into the ground. Breathing into the space that you created within your body. Take a nice long inhale and sigh it out. Open mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Releasing any tension. Bringing some movement back into your body. reaching your arms up overhead and rolling over to your right or left side, pressing up to a seated Sukhasana, bringing your hands to heart center. And I want to thank you again for practicing with me, bringing your thumbs to your third eye to have clear and loving thoughts. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks.